Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP. Specifically, we're going to be addressing the overall big price move on XRP, the valuation that gets put on it whenever we do talk about cross-border payments. But I do want to bring everyone down to earth real quick, and I want to talk about something much bigger than just the cross-border payment market, because I think everybody gets a little bit caught up in this market because it's very easy to. But yes, this market is a big one because, again, you guys know me. I've always priced in the cross-border payment market as that has always been the big focus from Ripple to position XRP for that market. But outside of what Ripple is doing, what is the biggest valuation to put on XRP? Because you got to remember that the XRP ledger, I should say the XRP ecosystem built around the XRP ledger, is also targeting some big markets. We will talk about that in this video as well. So let's dive in and let's start off with this tweet. So this is from Digital Asset Investor, aka Digital Asset Buy, over on Twitter. And we do see, I call this my Bob Way / Chat GPT simple XRP valuation. I'm here because I agree with the people that left fancy jobs to join Ripple. I'm assuming XRP gets 10% of the global cross-border payment market. $30 is not so crazy. Now, when we take a look at the individuals that have joined Ripple in the past, Bob Way is one of the bigger ones, and here's a quote from him actually. Several people left fancy jobs and joined Ripple because, I paraphrase, if we capture even a minor fraction of the international payments market, do you know the value XRP will have to support that? Do the math. Really, really big trade number slash or divide it by 100 billion XRP equals wow. And I mean, yeah, sure, this is a great way to, look at the overall price potential of XRP. For an example, here we have how large is the international payments market, and we do see the international payments market is extremely large and is estimated to be worth trillions of dollars. Give you guys a quick insight as we do look at the overall cross-border payment market from 2016 all the way to 2020. Now, this does also have forecasts for 2021 and 2022 in the trillions of dollars. It goes all the way back to 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021, and also 2022. And you can see the overall growth within the 4-year time frame has been over roughly $20 trillion. I do think that this market is going to continue to grow and grow and grow. Currently, right now, I think it's $156 trillion to be exact. We do see most of this is coming from the B2B market, aka the business side of things. Now, we're going to be talking about that in this video as well, but I do want to go back over here. So, it says that according to a report by the World Bank, global cross-border payments amounted to over $30 trillion in 2020. We all know that it has been much larger overall, with, again, the insights from most of the trading statistic websites that have gone in to address the overall market value behind cross-border payments. Now, as we do focus on this market is expected to continue to grow as international trade and commerce increase and more people move money across borders for various reasons. It does talk about the rise of digital technologies and all that kind of stuff. And we do see, what is 10% of 30 trillion? 3 trillion. What is 3 trillion divided by 100 billion? This is equal to $30. Now, again, this is international payments. As we do look at the global cross-border payments market, its actual self, we know that B2B itself is $150.7 trillion. Even if we go all the way back to 2018, we know that this was $124 trillion. So do the math on 10% of that market share value, because remember, we know XLM is actually going after the other smaller prices, or I shouldn't say prices, but values listed on this chart. So we'll actually go off of the $150.7 trillion market. And if we divide this by 100 billion itself, now remember, not all the tokens will be divided by this. Now, the full market, if we actually target the full market, the price would obviously be much, much larger. But we're not going to go off of that. We're actually going to go off of the 10% market dominance area, very similar to what we've seen over here on this chart. Now, again, if we go off of that, it would be roughly $150 for XRP. Now, am I going to say that we're going to hit $150 exact? Not exactly, but I will say this. One thing that is more crazier about this prediction, which, by the way, are we going to go off of these price predictions for XRP and say that these are 100% guaranteed? Not exactly. In fact, I would not bet the house on this. And again, I've always shared that $10 to $15 seems more reasonable with lower prices in fact, or in effect to accumulate for. That way we don't actually miss the boat on, if we don't go to those higher price targets, and we actually get our profit out and we get our initial investment out as well. But nonetheless, got to remember that all 100 billion XRP will not be utilized, because remember, as we do focus on this, we do have network effects from retail utilizing XRP as well, but also think about the other markets that are also combined in this. DLT technology is tokenizing a ton of big markets out there, specifically real estate, which we know is valued at $330 trillion globally. This is a market ripe for disruption and ripe for tokenization to take a hold of it and tokenize a large portion of this. Now, again, do I think that's going to be only one network to do this? No, I think that there's going to be a vast majority of DLTs out there that could grasp a large portion of this market, which I did share in my HBAR video from yesterday. But I do think that this is also a market that could grasp a large portion of DLT volume. So with that, combined with cross-border payments, combined with the retail market, just imagine the network effects that, again, XRP could grasp. Now, with that, we also focus on what Ripple is trying to do with XRP. So Ripple just recently posted this: trying to expand your small business into new markets given traditional payment rails is like trying to score a goal with 2 left feet. You're at a serious disadvantage. Now, as we do focus on this, we do see free and trapped capital to drive business growth. Remember, cross-border payments, the B2B sector, is the big one. That's the $150 trillion market. And as we do focus on this, we do see if working capital is the lifeblood of a business, then trapped capital is the bane of corporate financial executives around the world. When a business expands into a new market, they are often required to pre-fund a destination bank account in order to make transactions in that market, otherwise known as trapped capital. This is where a lot of the discussions of Nasra comes into place, and this is also where SMEs feel most of the pain points around liquidity. So how can they source liquidity? Well, we all know through XRP. So down here, we do see trapped capital in foreign accounts. Cross-border payments can be facilitated by a small group of correspondent banks that operate within popular transaction corridors. These banks require corporate customers to pre-fund accounts in local currencies on each side of the payment to provide the liquidity necessary for a transaction to vendors, suppliers, employees, etc. Now, as we do look down here, we do see a few discussions of lack of credit, burdens of complex cash management. All of this is focused on liquidity as a whole. We also do see shrinking number of correspondent banks. Even for those businesses that can handle the expense and opportunity cost of managing foreign bank accounts, access to correspondent banks is dwindling. Despite growing cross-border payment volumes, the number of correspondent banks is steadily declining and becoming more concentrated. This retreat is especially acute in emerging markets because of low margins and perceived risk. So cross-border payments in these regions, it's rough. And we do see reduced access to the global banking system can cause the overall cost of cross-border payments in these regions to skyrocket and prohibits SMEs that would otherwise be primed for expansion from breaking into or out of these emerging markets. Meaning, guess what? It allows for a significant opportunity for Ripple. We do see free and trapped capital with crypto solutions. This is what their end goal is to do. With Ripple's on-demand liquidity solution, it helps free trapped capital for SMEs by leveraging crypto-enabled payments for faster, more reliable cross-border capital flows. Available 24/7, global transactions settle in seconds, not days, which dramatically reduces costs, increases transparency, and reduces pre-funding requirements. They do mention Tranglo. Tranglo is a big one. In fact, I do think that Tranglo is one that we have personally been focused on for a while, and of course they also do mention other expansions, like for example Mexico and Brazil are two big ones that are utilizing on-demand liquidity through a few corridors, which is great to see, and Brazil especially is a big one. But let's take a look at a few things. So first off, Tranglo. Tranglo continues to expand. Tranglo is like a big key player because Ripple does own 40% stake in Tranglo, and it is one of Asia's leading cross-border payment hubs, which is trying to go public through an SPAC. For those that don't know what that means, basically it's just a special purpose acquisition company. Now, with this in mind, they are pushing final votes in August to expand, which is going to be great, and it is going to be incredible for them to go public. In fact, I actually think that I will be an investor into Tranglo if they do go fully public. So thank you to Crypto Airy for this, but we do see Tranglo continuing to expand, and again, they have been focused on cross-border payments through the business side of things because a lot of them do offer, have a lot of issues within that market, and Tranglo does offer the solution with Ripple tied to it. Again, Ripple, and Tranglo are allowing for a lot of these big companies and these big businesses to see the overall value behind something like on-demand liquidity by allowing these SMEs, these businesses, to expand, to allow them to have something like this. Because again, without something like this, you're seeing a lot of issues arise through liquidity purposes. So they are solving these big problems for these businesses. And like I've said, these businesses account for a large portion of that cross-border payment market. Now, also outside of that, what about MFS Africa? Shout out to Wrath of Kahneman. An interesting observation: MFS Africa, now a Ripple on-demand liquidity user, has appeared 2 times in BIS literature about multilateral payment platforms. Most recently in January, it suggests that the MFS Africa Payment Hub, connecting 35 African countries, may be a uniquely important partner. And here they do mention a lot of them, but down here at the end, we do see MFS Africa. So we do see the stock take, also analyzed MFS Africa, which enables PSPs. This is basically mobile money operators, money transfer operators, banks, and other financial service providers to leverage a single relationship with MFS Africa to send and receive cross-border payments to and from multiple jurisdictions via domestic or regional payment rails. Now remember, Ripple's not just utilizing XRP all the time with on-demand liquidity. They also have on-demand liquidity outside of XRP. They are not 100% guaranteeing XRP to be utilized all the time through on-demand liquidity, but I do believe at some point in time, when there is proper regulations in mind, we have legal clarity around XRP, I do think that that's what's going to change the vast majority of the volume aspect around XRP, and I also think that that's when a large portion of volume as well as value that Ripple is transacting with a lot of their major partnerships is going to be pushed through on-demand liquidity powered by XRP. But also remember, outside of some of these partnerships like MFS Africa, Tranglo, etc., there is a ton of other partnerships that Ripple does have. For an example, shout out to Good Morning Crypto, we do see Santander, American Express, Standard Chartered, and even SBI Holdings, which these are some of the largest banks out there. Santander, one of the first financial institutions to pilot the use of Ripple's technology for cross-border payments. American Express, to use its technology for cross-border payments made through its FX International Payment Service. Standard Chartered, to explore the use of its technology for, again, cross-border payments, reducing time and cost of international transactions. SBI Holdings, FSCo in Japan, invested in Ripple and is working with the company to develop a cross-border payments platform. Almost every single major partnership that we have in place is around cross-border payments. And it's funny because even in the recent Bank of England report, which talked about cross-border payments and things like that around like CBDCs, etc., we did see cross-border synchronization, a joint project with Ripple, demonstrating that synchronized FX transactions in 2 different simulated RTGS systems can be achieved, leading to the incorporation of synchronization functionality into the roadmap for renewal. Meaning, as we do focus on this, right? Now, this is not 100% proof that Ripple will be utilized within the RTGS renewal program or anything like that, but if they are, right, and we see cross-border payments being fully disrupted, and this is a market that is ripe for disruption by DLT technology and crypto technology and all that kind of stuff, then I do believe that XRP will see a significant volume increase once this goes live with XRP powered cross-border payments. By the way, I say when we see XRP powered cross-border payments, because remember, it's a different story with what Ripple is actually doing with cross-border payments, because they do have the choice of utilizing XRP or not. But yes, I'm very, very excited for the future nonetheless. There's been a lot of rumors around Visa and Ripple as well. They are working with 4 Ripple partners, actually, Visa is. So it would make sense if they did choose to work with Ripple. But we got to wait and see on that. But I do think outside of cross-border payments, remember, right? All of this is business related to cross-border payments. You have to remember that there's also line of credit with Ripple for SMEs, which could also allow XRP to be sourced and utilized. But remember yesterday what I said about XRP, or I think that might have been 2 days ago now. And in fact, Crypto Airy actually did post that as well. And I utilized her tweet, which again, thank you to Crypto Airy. She's incredible with the research. She talked about the overall XRP ecosystem. Here it was, right? Outside of what Ripple is doing with XRP, don't get me wrong, there's a ton of value there. There's also a ton of demand and liquidity from the retail side through the ecosystem. And there's a lot of other major sectors being disrupted through this. Remember, we talk about real estate as well. Like real estate tokenization is a huge one, and that could be utilized through Solo, for an example. And I'm very excited for a lot of these major use cases to go fully live on the XRP ledger because it does source XRP. It sources a ton of demand and liquidity of XRP. And when you take into accountability all of that volume, all of that demand, and you look at XRP around like 10% of the cross-border payment market, which again, we really kind of take this statistic from like 150 trillion. Could we just go after the 30 trillion? Sure, that's fine too. The value of XRP could be significantly higher than what most people anticipate. But again, we really start off with the bare minimum. Let's get the all-time high. Let's hit the all-time high. Then let's target possibly $5, $10, 15, 20, 25, etc. But I always do have that long-term bag in case XRP does hit $100 plus. Because if we do see $100 plus, then hey, I will be very, very happy. So, do I believe $100 for XRP is possible? 100%. What is the time frame on that? We have no idea. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, hope that you all have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys are on this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.